Standing more than 320 feet tall at Cape Canaveral, Blue Origin's New Glenn is a heavy lift vehicle designed to ferry large payloads into orbit. The rocket is named for John Glenn, the astronaut who became the first American to orbit the Earth in 1962. That orbital capability is now a central component of NASA's Artemis program, an effort to land astronauts on the Moon as early as 2028. Getting back to the lunar surface creates a massive logistical challenge. To move heavy hardware out of Earth's gravity and toward the Moon, NASA requires high-capacity, reliable rockets. NASA is counting on New Glenn to launch the Blue Moon lunar landers, which are essential for transporting crew to the surface. But in April 2026, during only its third flight, the New Glenn fleet was grounded after a critical engine malfunction during launch. This failure does more than damage a corporate reputation. It creates a bottleneck in the supply chain that threatens the timeline for the entire Artemis program. The flight began on a Sunday in April as the New Glenn lifted off from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. For the first several minutes, the launch proceeded nominally. The rocket cleared the pad and began its ascent toward space without issue. Following stage separation, the first stage booster successfully began its controlled descent back toward the Atlantic. The booster performed its landing sequence perfectly, touching down on an ocean barge several minutes into the flight. However, successfully recovering a first-stage booster is only part of the sequence. If the upper stage fails to perform its specific task, the primary mission is still a loss. While the booster was being secured at sea, the mission began to fail in the vacuum of space. The rocket's upper stage took over to deliver the satellite payload to its target orbit. Preliminary telemetry data indicates that one of the upper stage engines failed to produce the required amount of thrust. This thrust deficit changed the spacecraft's trajectory. Without enough forward pressure, the rocket couldn't reach the velocity needed to enter its high target orbit. Instead of reaching its destination, the payload was left in a dangerously low, unstable orbit. The payload was an AST space mobile satellite, part of a network designed to provide direct space-to-smartphone communications. Stranded at the wrong altitude, the multi-million-dollar satellite is now inoperable. It is expected to eventually plunge through the atmosphere and burn up. In orbital mechanics, a slight drop in engine performance leads to the total loss of the spacecraft. The failure triggered an immediate grounding. The Federal Aviation Administration and Blue Origin are now conducting a joint investigation into the engine malfunction. This investigation will take time, but the Artemis program is facing a hard deadline to reach the Moon by 2028. NASA's reliance on New Glenn to deliver its lunar landers makes the agency vulnerable to any extended grounding of this vehicle. Meanwhile, the industry competition is intensifying. SpaceX's Starship is also being developed to land astronauts on the Moon, creating pressure for Blue Origin to resolve its technical issues quickly. These events show that national space timelines are tied to the performance of experimental machines. Returning to the Moon requires mastering these complex flight systems, and right now, a critical vehicle for that mission is